Hey guys, I'm Alastair from Trail and Kale, and this is my Nike Alphafly 3 review. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you've probably seen quite a few super shoe reviews come on there. This one I'm particularly excited about because I really wanted to see how it compared to the HOKA Cielo X1, which in my opinion was one heck of a shoe. Still is. So who's the Nike Alphafly 3 for then? Well, it's for half marathon to marathon racers. But having said that, I've been using this for interval training, speed sessions, even tempo runs, just because I love how it feels. So just because on paper or on the website it says it's a marathon racing shoe, if you just want to elevate your training runs, you want to run faster in those sessions, and maybe you don't race all the time, you just want to have fun in the most fun, bouncy, fast running shoe, then that's what these shoes are for too. So if that sounds like you, and you've got the deep pockets for a shoe like this, then they're for you too. What's their biggest competition right now then? Well, without a doubt, I'm gonna say the HOKA Cielo X1. If you're not familiar with that shoe or you haven't seen our review yet, definitely follow that link up there. It's one hell of a shoe. I'm having so much fun in it. I'm still running in it today. And that's this shoe here, by the way. I've got a nice selection back here of some of the recent super shoes that I've been reviewing on the channel. More to come, by the way. This is the Cielo X1. And boy, it's one heck of a shoe. But so is the Alphafly 3. All right then, before I get stuck into this review, let's go over some of the key statistics of the Nike Alphafly 3. Let's start with the price. $285. That's right on the top end of a race day super shoe. A lot of the super shoes out there right now hover at around $250. The top end ones like the Cielo X1 and the Alphafly 3 raise the bar a little, and that's probably because they offer something a little bit extra special in the shoes, and I'm going to go over what that little bit of extra special sauce is in the Alphafly 3 very soon. How do they fit? How do they feel? Well, they're true to size, so if you're used to Nike running shoes, I would just go with your usual sizing. The upper then, well, it's using a atom knit mesh, and basically what that is allows the shoe to stretch in 4 directions, omnidirectional. And what that means is it really does hug your feet nicely when you do them up and slip them on, because it allows for movement within the shoe, so your toes splaying and pointing up and doing all sorts of things. This upper kind of works around that, and it feels really nice. It's also very surprisingly soft on the inside too, and hugely breathable. So you can see my fingers through here. No problem at all. Yeah, like I said, it's full of holes, super breathable. It's also got an integrated tongue, if you hadn't noticed already. All that means is it's kind of like a sock-like upper. There's no separate tongue, it's just all one piece. And some shoes that have this geometry don't have that much padding in the tongue. But the Alphafly 3 does have a little bit, and that's really good because it keeps the pressure from the laces above from affecting your foot, or the top of your foot. So all in all, this upper is actually quite incredible. I love how it looks. It's very simple, the fit is amazing, and it performs really well because it stretches and it's very breathable. Moving on to the midsole then. Well, first off, I'm going to have to mention the fact it's got 2 air zoom units, which they're kind of denoted by these orange sections. But all that means is it's got the air bubble, the air zoom units, 2 of them to give you extra bounce and energy return on the forefoot, and that's exactly where you want to be when you're racing. You want to be powering off from your forefoot, not so much on the heel, but if you do heel strike, this shoe does have Zoom X foam all the way across, and of course the fly plate, carbon fiber plate running all the way along from toe to heel. If you're enjoying this review, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. So yeah, a full stretching carbon fiber plate to give you tons of energy return and propulsion on race day. And that's exactly what these shoes are for. They're to propel you forward and help you get the fastest time possible. They've got an 8mm drop from heel to toe. That's fairly standard for a super shoe like this. And then finally, they weigh 7.2 ounces. That's incredibly lightweight. That's one of the lightest running shoes that I have reviewed here on Trail and Kale. And certainly I think it's probably the lightest super shoe right now as well. So yeah, incredibly lightweight. When you pick it up, you take it out of the box, it basically feels like nothing. And that's really good, especially if you're going to be running a marathon distance. The less weight you've got on your feet, the less your muscles are going to have to work to get you to the finish. So the lighter the better. But the trouble with that is sometimes shoes just don't have the cushioning or support when they're super lightweight and minimal. But the Alphafly 3 manages to keep that cushion, that bounce, even the response and the propulsion and the energy return, it's all here. And that's probably why it costs so much, to be honest, because they've managed to get so much into such a lightweight package. That actually leads me on to the differences between the Alphafly 3 and the previous version, the Alphafly 2 that came before it. Well, first off, it's lighter. I mentioned that just a minute ago, it's super lightweight. And of course, it is the lightest Alphafly yet. The carbon fiber plate running through the midsole is wider as well. What does that mean for you and your performance on the run? Well, a wider carbon plate means that you are going to get more stability on your run. So that should help with any pronation issues that you might be getting on the run, and it will just give you extra stability, which is going to be really beneficial to your biomechanics on the long run. The other update is the Atom Knit upper. Essentially, it's a omnidirectional stretching upper that's super breathable and also durable. So yeah, not only that, it actually fits your foot really nicely because it kind of stretches around your foot when you slip it in. So yeah, there's no loose fabric or anything because I guess it's built smaller than the average foot so that it can expand and really hug your foot, which is exactly what you want. You don't want any slippage in a racing shoe because then you're losing energy. So yeah, the new upper does really well in my opinion. And then finally, the ZoomX midsole is fully connected to the shoe, meaning there's no kind of gap between the two segments, the heel and the forefoot. And what does that do? Well, it increases energy return for one, but also it's not quite as loud on the run. So I pointed this out in the first Alphafly that came out. If you read that review on trailandkale.com, then you'll know I made a bit of a funny joke about it being the loudest running shoe out there and how it would be very difficult to sneak up on someone in front of you and just pass them because they'd hear you coming a mile off. This one, however, has no audible issues. Okay, so I've explained the key features and the updates that have come to the Alphafly 3 and also how that affects the performance, or at least how it should affect performance. So this is my performance review then. How do they actually perform on a run? Well, like I said before, these are designed to go fast, and they do just that. I wasn't prepared to how fast they were going to take me. I've been doing quite a lot of training lately, but this last couple of weeks, I haven't been putting in all that many speed sessions. I've kind of been hitting the trail to get some new trail running shoe reviews out there have just dropped, which means I haven't been practicing all out speed or doing speed work sessions. So when I put these on, I decided to go for a super fast run on my first run, about 10 kilometers. And my God, I wasn't prepared. They're super fast and they made me go faster than my cardio kind of was expecting or was allowing for. And you'll find you probably, if you run a lot, you get a new pair of running shoes that's got a lot of energy return and bounce. You'll probably find the same, or you've noticed the same, where it just takes you faster than you're able to right now. And that's okay. That's just because it's a design that's much more advanced than most running shoes, and that's what it's designed to do. So yeah, that's a good thing. It made me work really hard for my run, but at the same time, I ran really fast, and it was a super comfortable run because of all the cushioning underfoot in the midsole here, the ZoomX units under the forefoot here, which is how I like to run when I'm running fast. I kind of hit the forefoot area and I just bounce off from there as much as possible on the run. And they're super breathable. It's been super hot in California lately. So yeah, I really couldn't be happier with the performance of this running shoe. Now, I alluded to it before, how I absolutely love the Cielo X1. So how does the Nike Alphafly 3 compare to the Cielo X1 in terms of performance? Well, you know what? They both have strengths and weaknesses, and I love them both. So I could very equally just pick up the Cielo X1, or I could just go for the Alphafly 3. And I just feel like it's going to be how I feel on the day. The main differences are the Cielo X1 obviously has this very, very pronounced rocker silhouette. And I love how that propels you forward. It feels a bit more effortless on the long run. The Alphafly 3, on the other hand, is quite a bit lighter than the Cielo X1. I did point out the Cielo X1 doesn't feel heavy by any means, because it's not. But the Alphafly 3 is considerably lighter. So if I'm going for like a half marathon run or 5K super speedy run where I'm going to try and get a 5K PR, I'm probably going to take the Alphafly 3. This of course is personal preference. I absolutely love both these running shoes. They are my two favorite super shoes right now. And another reason I might take the Alphafly 3 is if it's super hot out, because the upper is just, it's not even there. It's super breathable. There's holes all over it. I love it. It's super comfortable. Cielo X1 is super comfortable too. Both incredibly fast. You know what? I could probably just wear an Alphafly on the left foot and a Cielo X1 on the right. And I don't think I'll be going around in circles. I think I'd still be going straight. That's how equal these running shoes are. On performance of the Alphafly 3, I want to quickly mention the outsole because it doesn't get all that much of a mention out there. I wouldn't blame you for thinking that you're not going to get much traction on this outsole. If you look at the rear here, there's hardly anything on there. It's like a slick Formula One tire. But you know what? Slick Formula One tires are designed like that for a reason. It does actually give them traction. And I get a lot of traction on this shoe when I'm running in it too. The Zoom unit bottom section here looks a bit funny. I don't really like how that looks, but grips really well, absolutely fine for road running. I have run in the wet in these as well. And the fine tread pattern did a good job of keeping me stable, gave me plenty of traction when running around tight corners or dodging in between people as I'm running super fast down my local cycle path, zipping past people in these super shoes. You probably think I'm some sort of millionaire with a different super shoe every day, if only. I'm absolutely loving the Alphafly 3. Are they worth the money? Well, if you've got $285 to spare, then yes, without a doubt, these are one of the top 2 race day super shoes for me right now. If you've got deep pockets, you're happy to spend $285. Like I said before, if you are going to spend that much money, I just recommend using these for not just racing, but also speed sessions. Like if you really want to elevate your tempo runs, for example, or save them for intervals and just race day, then you'll get a lot more use out of these shoes. And they perform excellently in both scenarios. They're not just for racing. Use them for training too. And if you do that, you will actually be more familiar with the shoe come race day. So yeah, if you've got deep pockets, you love how it looks, you really want the best in class right now, then yeah, of course, go for these shoes. You're not going to be disappointed. Well, thanks for watching this Nike Alphafly 3 review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, share it with a friend and subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.